Back on our Media Day coverage, the Iowa Hawkeyes coming off of a season that saw them get into the NCAA tournament, won back-to-back games for the first time in 2 decades, but 4 starters gone from that team and some big-time names. You see nearly 400 combined starts for the Hawks out the door. And so it is a team, as we talked about, in transition. The head coach of the Hawkeyes, Fran McCaffery, is here. And, Coach, this is the nature of college sports. You build something, and you did a great job of building this program up, getting the team to be a perennial NCAA tournament team. And now all of a sudden you lose some leadership. It is a totally different team. So what are the challenges of coaching this year's team as opposed to last year?
Well, last year's team obviously had great expectation, and we would go into practice at the start of the season and everything ran smoothly. And it's not the case with a young team. But what we do have is, I think, a group with great character, tremendously hard workers. I do think it's a deeper team in so many ways. We're a bigger team. We were not a big team last year, and we were the year before that. So we're bigger, we're longer. I think we're more athletic, and we're deeper. We just don't have the experience. So a lot of it's going to fall on Peter Jock.
One of the guys who has great experience, and we'll talk about Peter in a bit, but someone who had great experience for you was Mike Gesell, who you knew, hey, we can roll the ball out, and point guard is such an important spot, and he was a constant for you for years. So now Gesell is gone. Give us a sense of the point guard spot in particular and how that's coming
Well, I think
together.
the other thing, too, Dave, is he had Clemens there with him as well.
Right.
I essentially started 2 point guards for the better part of 4 years and never had to worry about that responsibility. So now we have new people. Obviously, Christian Williams played some last year, and he's a big point guard, 6'7", 6'11" wingspan, presents some great options for us defensively at that position. Not a scorer, but can score. Jordan Mohan, and Mr. Basketball from Iowa, smaller, but tough, smart, and can really make shots. So I think we have a great combination with those two.
Coach, you talk about the size, you talk about depth.
With the difficult schedule we have.
Now, last year, you had your core. I mean, we saw what you lost in terms of the 4 starters that you lose this coming into this season. Do you look at that and say, well, in a way, you've kind of hit a wall? I mean, that's what a lot of people talked about, hitting the wall and physically relying so much on 4 guys. Do you try to balance things out a little bit more this year?
Well, I think what happened, so much of the scoring responsibility fell on Jared and Pete last year. And I think now we have more weapons. Now, a lot of them are not proven. Take a guy like Tyler Cook.
Yep.
I'd be shocked if he wasn't a double-figure scorer. Okay, he's that good. And he can impact a game both on the glass, in transition, at half court. He's smart, he's big and strong. But, of course we have to put him to the test. And that's when we'll know exactly what we have in terms of what he can do and how early he can do it. He's going to have the chance. He's going to be right in there.
What does it take from you, though, more from a patient standpoint? What does it take from you in terms of being patient with guys, almost nurturing them, but pushing them, as you say, you need to do, especially when you want to play fast-paced basketball? Well,
it's a fine line. You have to hold them accountable, and you have to be on them every day, but it can't be negative. It's got to be positive. We got to bring them along. We got to encourage. We got to watch film. It's got to be teaching, a teaching atmosphere, and a positive one at that. And I think when that's done, these guys will start to progress rapidly.
Without leadership, there's almost a sense of urgency that's also lost. Who does that come from this group?
Well, it starts with Pete. I mean, he's a guy that I think could lead this league in scoring. We're going to go to him. He's going to have the green light, as he did last year, but he'll be doing more things with the ball, in ball screen action. So it starts there. But then it's Yulin Bear, it's Tyler Cook, it's the point guard position. We have some other players that can score the ball. Isaiah Moss, Macy Daly, Brady Ellingson. These guys, Brady's been around. He's a third-year guy. So we have some weapons there. And then Ahmad Wagner really taking his game to another level. Cordell Pemsel, Ryan Kriener. I mean, these guys are. I mean, it's rare that you would have a young team and you have 13 guys, and I still have 13 guys I'm expecting to play. And you know, I both know you can't play 13.
Now, who's benefited the most from having to go against guys like Gazelle, Jared Utoff last season? I mean, we saw what happened, Frank Kaminsky and young Ethan Happ. I mean, who from your team has benefited the most from going against those
Well,
guys?
I think you know, Christian Williams certainly has. I think Nicholas Bear and Dom Ewell. You know, Dom Ewell in particular played a lot each of the last 2 years. Nicholas just last year. But those guys went hard at those guys every day in practice, and they both can score the ball.
Give us a sense for Dale Jones. Was a player who you lost very early last year. I know as we talked during the course of the year, you said, hey, that was a guy who really would have helped us. I don't think you understand how important he was going to be.
He's a big X factor guy for us, Dave.
So what can we expect there?
Well,
or you don't know what to expect, right? If he's an X factor.
Put it this way. As long as he's healthy, he's going to be a really good player.
Okay.
He's 6'8", 235. He can score. He'll come out firing. He's going to be aggressive offensively, but a lot of shooting forwards don't rebound. Dale Jones rebounds. You know, so once he really trusts himself, and you see it at times, other times, you know, he still feels like he's dragging that leg. You know, ACL surgery takes time.
Yep.
But he's also a guy who's a junior college All-American, and as you said, last year when we were struggling offensively down the stretch, he was the guy we had recruited and expected to be the one that would step up and go get you 25. And he can do that. So I'm really excited for him. I'm really proud of him and how he's developed through this rehabilitation process. Don't count out him yet.
Head coach of the Hawks, Fran McCaffery. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks, Dave.
Always
Thanks,
good
John.
to see you.